Have you ever wondered why some people speak English so naturally, while others struggle even after years of studying? What if the secret isn't grammar or vocabulary, but something much simpler, phrases you hear every day, but never learned in class? In today's lesson, we'll uncover the real expressions native speakers use in coffee shops, office calls, and friendly chats. You're about to discover not just how to speak, but how to sound fluent. By the end, you might just stop translating in your head and start thinking in English. Let's find out how. Have you ever wondered why some people speak English so naturally, while others struggle even after years of studying? What if the secret isn't grammar or vocabulary, but something much simpler? Phrases you hear every day but never learned in class. In today's lesson, we'll uncover the real expressions native speakers use in coffee shops, office calls, and friendly chats. You're about to discover not just how to speak, but how to sound fluent. By the end, you might just stop translating in your head and start thinking in English. Let's find out how. The journey to fluency begins with mastering everyday phrases, the kind native speakers use instinctively without overthinking. Expressions like, "What's up?" "How's it going?" or "Sounds good" may seem simple, even unimportant, but these are the exact phrases that keep real conversations flowing. Think about it. When a friend greets you with "What's up?", they're not asking for a deep explanation. A casual "not much, just relaxing" is more than enough. These short, friendly replies help keep the tone light, the rhythm smooth, and the interaction natural. Unlike textbook English, which often focuses on full sentences and strict structure, real-life English is built around these bite-sized, reusable phrases. They allow you to respond quickly, sound confident, and fit in culturally. Instead of saying, "Yes, that idea is acceptable," a native speaker might just say, "Sounds good." It's quicker, warmer, and more authentic. Or consider when someone says, "Let's meet at 4," and you reply, "That works for me." You're not just confirming plans, you're doing it in a way that feels effortless. Even when you need time to think, natural phrases help maintain the conversation. For instance, if someone asks you something and you're not ready to answer, instead of staying silent or saying, "Wait," you could say, "Just a sec," or "Give me a moment." These expressions show that you're present and engaged, even if you're taking a second to gather your thoughts. They're polite and commonly used, making your speech feel smooth and socially appropriate. Using these phrases daily doesn't just help you sound better, it rewires how you process English. You stop translating and start responding naturally. With enough exposure and repetition, these phrases become automatic. They bridge the gap between classroom English and real communication. So, as we begin this lesson, keep one thing in mind. Fluency isn't about using big words. It's about using the right words at the right time. The phrases you're about to learn are the building blocks of daily conversation, and once you start using them, you'll notice a big shift in how confidently and comfortably you speak English. Ready to sound more fluent? Let's dive in. Now that you've seen how simple, natural expressions can make your English sound fluent, let's take it one step further, learning how to speak politely and effectively in real situations. In daily life, it's not just about what you say, but how you say it. Whether you're asking for help, making a request, or sharing an opinion, using the right tone and phrasing is what makes your English not only correct, but respectful and socially appropriate. Imagine this. You're in a meeting and the window is open, it's noisy outside, and you want someone to close it. A direct, "Close the window," might get the job done, but it can come across as a bit harsh or commanding. Now compare that with, "Would you mind closing the window?" or "Could you please close the window?" Suddenly, the same message sounds polite, thoughtful, and much more welcome. This is the power of softening your speech using modal verbs like could, would, and phrases like "would you mind" or "could you please." The same principle applies when making everyday requests or giving instructions. If you want someone to send a document, don't say, "Send me the report." Try, "Could you send me the report when you get a chance?" It shows respect for the other person's time and makes your English more pleasant to listen to. These subtle adjustments help you come across as both fluent and considerate, two qualities that are highly valued in both personal and professional settings. Even when expressing opinions, tone matters. Native speakers often avoid sounding too forceful by using gentle starters like I think, I feel like, or it seems to me. For example, instead of saying, that's not a good idea, you could say, I see your point, but I think we might need another option. This way, you're sharing your thoughts while keeping the conversation open and friendly. It invites discussion rather than shutting it down. And what if you don't know the answer to something or you're unsure? You can simply say, I guess, or maybe, or even, I'm not sure, but. These expressions allow you to participate in conversations without needing to be 100% confident all the time. In fact, using them makes you sound more natural because that's exactly what native speakers do. The beauty of these phrases lies in their balance between clarity and kindness. They allow you to express yourself fully without sounding too direct or too passive. The goal is not just to speak, but to build trust and connection with your words. So, as you continue learning, remember, fluency isn't only about speed or vocabulary, it's about communicating with grace. Whether you're in a meeting, ordering food, or texting a friend, these polite, natural expressions will help you sound more confident, more relatable, and more fluent in every conversation. Once you've learned how to speak politely and thoughtfully in real-life situations, the next key to fluent conversation is knowing how to keep a conversation going and how to end it naturally. Even with good vocabulary and polite expressions, many English learners still struggle with awkward silences or abrupt goodbyes. That's why mastering the flow of everyday conversations is just as important as the words you use. Imagine you're chatting with a coworker. You've said your opinion, you've listened to theirs, now what? Native speakers often use short, casual expressions to keep the conversation moving smoothly. Simple phrases like, I see what you mean, that makes sense, or exactly are incredibly useful. They don't just fill the silence, they show that you're listening, that you care, and that you're actively part of the exchange. Let's say someone says, the weather's been crazy lately. Instead of awkward silence, you could respond with, totally, it's been raining non-stop. These short reactive phrases might seem small, but they carry a lot of emotional connection. They invite the other person to keep talking, and that's what makes the conversation feel natural and fluent. But what about ending a conversation? This is an area many learners overlook. Ending a chat with, I have to go, or just walking away may sound too blunt. Native speakers tend to use gentle exit phrases that help wrap up the conversation without sounding cold or rude. For example, you could say, anyway, I should get going. It was great talking to you. Let's catch up again soon. These phrases signal the end of the conversation while still showing respect and warmth. Even when texting or speaking on the phone, a simple talk soon or take care makes a big difference in tone. Let's walk through a quick example. A friend says, I've got to finish some work now. You could reply, sure, no problem. It was nice catching up. Talk to you later. This leaves a friendly impression and keeps the relationship positive. These are the small, yet powerful touches that make your English not only correct, but genuinely comfortable and confident. You can even practice these mini conversations on your own, write down short dialogues, swap out names or situations, and rehearse how you'd start, carry, and end a conversation. Over time, you'll notice you're no longer hesitating or overthinking. You're responding naturally, like a native speaker would. So remember, being fluent doesn't mean talking non-stop. It means knowing when to speak, how to listen, and how to exit a conversation with grace. These skills, just like polite requests or everyday phrases, are part of the rhythm of real English, and with practice, they'll become part of yours too. After learning how to keep conversations flowing and end them gracefully, the next important step is knowing how to respond in emotionally appropriate ways. Real-life conversations aren't just about sharing facts or opinions. They're full of emotions, surprises, disappointments, and joyful moments. The way you respond to these feelings shows your empathy and makes your English sound more sincere and relatable. Let's say someone tells you, "I finally got the job." A flat "okay" would sound strange, maybe even rude. But with the right phrase, "That's awesome," "I'm so happy for you," or "congratulations," you express excitement in a natural and caring way. These kinds of emotional expressions are what bring your English to life. They help you connect with others, not just communicate. The same goes for sad or unfortunate news. If a friend says, "My dog is sick," you don't need to offer a solution. You simply need to respond kindly. Phrases like, "I'm really sorry to hear that," or "That must be tough," show that you're listening and that you care. These expressions are used daily by native speakers, and they're essential in building meaningful conversations. Another common emotion is surprise. Whether good or bad, surprise is part of daily interactions. Imagine a friend says, "I won a free trip to Japan." A natural response might be, "No way, that's amazing." Or if someone says, "I was in a car accident last week," your reply could be, "Oh no, are you okay?" These expressions reflect your ability to react thoughtfully and naturally, just like in your native language. And what about encouragement? Simple phrases like, "You've got this," "Keep it up," or "Don't worry, it'll get better," can make someone's day, and they make you sound emotionally intelligent in English. Whether you're comforting a classmate, supporting a coworker, or chatting with a friend, knowing how to encourage someone politely and genuinely is an important fluency skill. It's also important to know how to express your own emotions in natural ways. Instead of always saying, "I'm happy," or "I'm sad, try saying, "I'm in a good mood," "I'm feeling a bit down," or "That just made my day." These expressions are more personal and expressive, and they reflect how real people talk. They show vulnerability and openness, qualities that deepen your conversations and make them more memorable. At the heart of all this is one key principle. Fluency isn't just about language, it's about connection. The ability to respond appropriately to emotional moments shows maturity in your speaking. And the more you practice these expressions in real-life situations, whether texting, calling, or talking face-to-face, the more naturally they will come to you. So, as you continue building your English fluency, remember, great communication means listening with empathy, responding with feeling, and speaking from the heart. After exploring how to respond to emotional moments with empathy and fluency, the final and perhaps most powerful step is learning how to make these phrases a natural part of your everyday life. Because no matter how many useful expressions you know, "That's awesome," "I see what you mean," or "Would you mind?" they won't help much unless you practice them, use them, and live with them daily. Fluency isn't something that magically appears. It grows through consistent repetition and real-world usage. Just like playing an instrument or learning to drive, speaking English well requires muscle memory, and that comes from practicing the same phrases over and over until you no longer have to think before speaking. Think about this. When a native speaker replies, "Sounds good," or "I'm running a bit late," they don't pause to translate from their native language. It's automatic. And you can reach that same level of comfort, not by memorizing more vocabulary, but by repeating what works in real situations. Here's how you can build that fluency day by day. Forward to quick last pages and values to it. Want to the first speakers into it. Speak out loud. Don't just read or listen. Say the phrases out loud. Hearing your own voice helps you internalize rhythm and pronunciation. From the possibilities that these phrases get to hide. Shadow native speakers. Watch English videos or listen to podcasts and try repeating what the speaker says, phrase by phrase. This shadowing technique helps you copy natural speech patterns, just like a child learning to talk. If you help this for speaks elected speaking and try repeating what the speaker says faking. Create real-life scenarios. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Practice now. Imagine you're texting a friend, ordering coffee, or asking a colleague for help. Write and rehearse dialogues like, "Hey, let me know when you're on your way." "Sure, I might be a bit late, but I'll keep you posted." "No problem, just text me when you're close." House to win dialogue dailies. Cruyffgoat. Use small changes to expand practice. Replace coffee shop with library, friend with co-worker, Monday with Saturday. This keeps your phrases fresh while reinforcing structure. Many faking dialogues dailies. Get back to the meteomer center, it faking dar phrases. Track your favorites. Keep a notebook or digital list of your top 20 most used English expressions. Review them daily and challenge yourself to use at least 5 in conversation each day. Talk to yourself. Even texting videos interaction sees. It may feel silly, but narrating your actions or thoughts in English builds fluency quickly. Say things like, "I'm just making breakfast now," or "Let's see, what should I wear today?" And this prices get that toes does I. No life actions and Tindernist on way Peters, the true the way fluency. Megadine. Let's see form for me. This is a prespites of ing dialogues dailies. It's stuffen inchehing this video will fluent canally traven tractors and you mind D's, and the essentially of critity from get design. The truth is, fluency is not about perfection. It's about comfort and confidence. Mistakes apart.